All right, we'll just do math. Anyway. All right, let's do this one. Let's do this verification. Once I get the smartboard plugged in. We're only going to do 2. That's it, guys. We're just going to do 2. And when these 2 are done, we're done with verifications. What do you guys think about that? That's got to be exciting. You guys sick of this? Don't lie. How many of you are sick of this? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Are you sick of it because you know how to do them? No? Not that? Okay. All right. Well, it's worth a shot. Okay, here we go. Verify this. Let's take a look. Right, here's our equal sign. Always want to pay attention to that. Remember that verifying is make the 2 sides look the same. Clearly right now they do not. Right? Because the left side is a fraction and the right side is not. Alright? Now we got a lot of different approaches we could take here. What are we supposed to look for? We're supposed to look for squared terms, plus or minus signs, and fractions. Right? Those are the 3 things that are really supposed to stick out to us, and the 3 different approaches that we can take are based on finding those 3 things. Squared terms, plus or minus signs, fractions. Alright? First things first, do you see a fraction? Oh yeah, we got ourselves a fraction here. If you have a fraction, what can you do? Well, this talks about fractions, which we don't have fractions, we have a fraction. Okay? We could do this, although we're never actually going to do that because of the current situation that we're in. Don't have time to do many more of these. What about decomposing? Decomposing a fraction means having that inverted triangle where the numerator is a binomial but the denominator is not. Okay? Here's our problem. What do you see? The numerator is a binomial, but the denominator is not. So this is that inverted triangle look. It's not as obvious because the denominator has 2 parts, but we could decompose this fraction. The question becomes, do I want to decompose this fraction? But when you look at this, okay, this is one fraction. Stay with me. Right? Let's strengthen these neural networks we're creating in our brains. This is one fraction, a fraction. Decomposing means taking 1 and making 2. Would it be a good idea to take this one thing and turn it into 2 things? Knowing that I want it to be the same as this side. If I want it to be the same as this side has 2 things. This side could have 2 things if I split it up. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe those 2 things will end up looking like that. It's worth a shot. Try stuff, right? How many times have you heard me say that? So, we're going to decompose this fraction. We're going to put sine theta over here. Now, sine theta goes over this denominator. So, I do not split up the denominator. Okay? I keep the denominator as is. Plus cosine theta over that denominator. Okay? Even though the denominator has 2 parts, it stays the same in both fractions. Now over here, I'm going to do 2 things at once. Whoa. I know. Because if you look at the left side, what do you see a lot of? Sines and cosines? I don't see any sines or cosines over here. But I could if I write secant as 1 over cosine, and if I write cosecant as 1 over sine. Now everything's in terms of sine and cosine. I've got the 2 terms on the left and the 2 terms on the right. And after we use those tools, we simplify. How am I going to simplify this one? Well, when we look here, I've got a sine theta on the top and the bottom. I'm going to cancel those. That leaves me with 1 over cosine. Ooh, working. It's working. Now over here, the cosines here and here are going to cancel, leaving me with, oh no, I like it. That's my group. Every single morning, I come downstairs. When I'm home, and when every morning, I should say during, when I was teaching from home, I would come downstairs and my daughters would already be having breakfast. My wife would get the kids up, take me a little bit longer to roll out of bed, maybe an extra like 10 minutes, and then they'd already be eating breakfast because they're going to school. My kids go to school. And so I would be coming downstairs, and every single morning I would say, "Good morning, girls," like that. That's my group voice. So I've been working on it. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you know it? Same thing. Now, again, this is a point about verifying. I don't have to turn this exactly into this. I just have to show that it's the same thing on both sides. So I did a little work on the left side, and I did a little work on the right side, and it all worked out. Okay? Check mark. One more. The last one. The final verification.